Isla Vista is the community adjacent to the University of California at Santa Barbara. And unlike other campus communities, it is not in an incorporated city. So it does not have the city level of services. This is an emergency. We need help from the legislature to be able to set up an effective local government because we have, as a community, failed to do so for 40 years. I'm Assemblymember Das Williams, and these are the stories behind AB 3, the quest for local governance for Isla Vista.
In the early 70s, there were about half as many people, and it felt very safe. What we've seen here is there used to be a lot of families in our neighborhood, and they zoned IV. They didn't do a good job because they were out to make money, and as UCSB added students, the pressure to find more housing for students increased, and every time someone would die or their house would get sold, it would turn over to a rental, and so now we're surrounded.
And what about issues of public safety? Is it something that you've worried about or that you've seen out here that worry you?
Yes, it's gotten really scary to be here, and we raised 3 children here, and we still have one at home with us, and it's not a safe place to be. Back in the 70s, it felt very safe.
There are big events that happen here at Halloween, and an event called Deltopia that occurs in the spring. Halloween used to be fun, and people would dress up and walk around and party and things like that, but not doing violent things or dangerous things that much. But it changed over time, and it got uglier by the year, it got bigger by the year. That was turning into a scary situation, for sure.
There's this perception that at times this can be a very dangerous community. Like when I told my mom I was moving here initially, she's like, "Oh no, you're moving into IV? Like, is it safe there? You know, like what goes on there?" And I'm like, "No, Mom, it's like a wonderful community, but we're not able to like adequately respond to the things that go wrong in our area because we don't have any form of government."
For me personally, today actually I had to change my tire on my bike because I got popped because the roads here are not all paved. There's so many potholes and it's not safe. The lighting is not adequate because I walk down Abrego where I'm biking, I don't see the glass there. You know, my tire pops, my foot gets cut, and it's just not safe.
I work nights, so whenever I have to come home, there aren't any parking spots available. Sometimes I have to go as far as 3 blocks to find a parking spot. There's not much lighting, and it's scary walking back. I have to be very aware of my surroundings, and I feel like that's something that I shouldn't have to worry about when I come home. I can go back a little bit more, no? Great. You're right back. I think I'm right. Am I there? Am I there yet? All right. Yeah, you can definitely report. Well, I've been going to the hearings and supporting the AB 3 process that we're going through. Trying to get more support, making sure that my friends are informed and they know what's going on. Just keeping people educated is the first step into having a community that supports something.
Yeah. Good local governance is going to be established to have a lot of input from the residents of Isla Vista about what kind of services are most important. So what we need to do in order to really make this substantive is really get an idea of what you, the people of Isla Vista, most need for services. We have introduced a bill that would provide a local government to Isla Vista called a Community Services District. It would provide the ability to contract for additional public safety services over and beyond what the county sheriffs provide. It would have the power to do better lighting, better sidewalks, to be able to provide a parking program so that non-residents we might restrict non-resident parking especially on nights when there's going to be too much public safety issues. And It would provide the ability to create landlord-tenant, better landlord-tenant relationships through a rental housing mediation task force.
Yeah, when he approached us with AB3, it was like he really knew what the problem was, and his ideas just was like what we'd been waiting for. He really seemed to understand what we needed here, and no one else had done that.
I mean, when Doss started presenting this publicly, I was a little surprised by the originality of his plan. But I have hopes that it can move us a few steps closer to having some control over the environment that we live in. Any change that happens here should be very positive change, and I think we all benefit. That will, recruiting their interest, their recognition that they benefit from good positive change, and we're not out to take away the good things that they have. We're out to try to protect ourselves and protect everybody that's involved in the community. If there were anybody that was willing to cooperate and be positive and look for things that help us all, we benefit.